Yo, my peoples, I'm AMV.E, and welcome to the 55th episode of EasyCast. Yes, it is just me and my best friend, Jibril, the producer.
I'm back. Oh.
Yeah, you can take the camera back. Yeah, good. That's good. Today is another solo episode. Don't really know. There's no really reason for it, but everyone's doing their own thing, and I think it's been almost 10 episodes since the last one, and I just realized that I'm wearing the exact same T-shirt and actually the same outfit that I was wearing on the last one, coincidentally, by the way. So yeah, it's crazy, right?
It's very crazy.
It's crazy. I'm joking. All right. I already have I have a lot of topics to speak about, but I'm going to narrow it down to a couple of few. Just the first one that I would like to ask you and the audience. Who are you? How would you answer that question? What would you say? Who is Jibril? Who is Hadi? Who am I?
A very handsome man.
Well, that's nonetheless. No, we don't need to state the obvious here, me and my boy. But if you had to explain, like, if you wanted to say who are you, how would you answer that question? You can put the camera on you, by the way, and you can speak into the mic if you want.
I'm not really sure. Like, who am I? You say your name, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
What you do, what you like. State, a lot of things about you.
Mm-hmm.
If they're interested, you keep stating more. And yeah.
That's good. You can cross out of it. I keep getting security problems on this thing, innit? Yeah. Someone asked me the other day or something like that, if you had to describe yourself in one word, and I was like, I really don't know what to say. I guess I would just say calm,
Calm?
which is literally my name. Hadi literally means calm.
It's cold.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cold. And I only realized, by the way, like 2 days ago, that because my last name means rain, that my name actually spells calm rain. Like, I didn't know that. I never, ever. I'm 20. I'm almost 21. This whole time, I never put together that calm rain, like, together is like calm rain. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Anyways, um, I was saying this question because I always had like, I've always had conflictions. You see, I know what's correct for me, so I act upon it. So by being, like disciplined, working on, the like in general, doing all my work on time, doing all these things on time. But then there comes like a conflicting point of whether or not what's too much on that side of things, and then you miss out on the humorous side or the I don't know, the energetic side. Like, what can you add to a personality? Usually you try to add onto things or improve on things when it comes to like things about yourself, not in terms of personality, but in terms of like habits or in terms of activities or things you do, and your work ethic, for example, and those types of things. But I never thought about how well, not until like, this is why I'm talking about this topic. uh how do you improve your personality, right?
Mm.
Have you ever thought about that?
Never come across my mind.
Yeah, because it does. You don't really think about it. But for me, for example, as always in the solo episodes, I'm usually, it's like a 1-to-1. So I'm gonna give my examples and you just listen, and then if you relate, then you relate in it. So, um, like for me, I would say my main conflictedness between my base personality and trying to elevate that to it to make it better, but without trying to prove to someone else, or to change for other people, was being less calm in a sense. Like, obviously, I'm a calm person and I have like a peak point. Generally speaking, I don't go above that point. Like, I'm pretty monotone. Depending on the day, I can be pretty monotone. I'm not like energetic. I'm not hype, you know. But I've had like the thoughts like, okay, then what is stopping you from being more vibrant, for example? because obviously, Saeed's on the podcast, is a very energetic person, whatever. And everyone's got their own personality. My brother's a bit more on that side too. So then I always think like if there's a lot of those personalities around me, and I'm like, I was the most, let's just say, like undertone type of person within our group or group of friends and whatnot. So that made me just think like, what is actually stopping me from being a bit more energetic? What's stopping me from being a bit more hype? What can I do to improve my personality? And for me, at least, the answer that I found was laziness. But generally speaking, I'm not lazy. It's more just being bothered, right? For me, I have a lack of botheredness to be energetic. Like if I really wanted to do something, I could do it, but I don't know why. I see myself like I just can't really be bothered to be that like hype. Like it gets me like tired in a sense. I don't know. But for other people, it's like they feed off it, you know? What would you say your personality is like in terms of those two scales?
I feel like more energetic, like
Mhm.
but
Speak,
traits or
speaking to the mic.
traits like and personality is like how you're raised, and especially if you're like the firstborn child, second, third, like you see, you're the oldest child. I'm
Mm.
also the oldest child. You're more calm, okay, and you were just raised differently to what your brother was raised. All right, makes sense. Like your brother's a bit more energetic than you, but he's also this like younger child. He's not first, and you had a bit more responsibility. He had a bit less. So he's a couple bolts loose, but she'll be right. Saeed, he's the oldest, but he might have been raised up a bit differently to you. See,
No,
that's
I'll explain the difference in where there's a difference. It's when there's a setting like when at home he's the oldest, great brother,
yeah, I see what
does
you mean.
does his stuff. When he's outside, he becomes the youngest, and I'm still the oldest. It never changes because usually speaking, I've always been the older person in the setting. Or in term, even if I wasn't older, it was just being more mature, Um, and because I'm like a year or two ahead in terms of studies and whatnot, it's always like I've gone through most of the stuff that they've been through, that they're going to go through in studying and just experiences. So like it's like unintentionally, it's kind of that sort of relationship, Um, and then also because I'm just a bit more calm, I guess. Yeah. So I don't know. So that was like my conflictedness was how much, like how do I balance it out? How much do I give without taking away from me, from what I am as a person? I'm not like Saeed. I'm not my brother. I'm not the like this other person. I'm not the people that are fully extroverted and fully energetic. That's not me. Me as a person is I am more of like a more chilled person. So that's where I was like I've had thoughts and not like conflicting arguments in my head, like what makes how much of me can I enhance before I start trying to be something different, and it's a good question to ask yourself, I guess. And that's why I like to take time off, like just like when I'm by myself in the car, or when there's no one around me anymore and I'm just like thinking, and then that when all the excess thoughts go away, that's when that's when I start thinking of actual things, like deep things of like that's what comes to my mind. Like usually, for example, I'm always with my brother, I'm always with friends, etc., etc. Um, but once that's over, once I'm at home by myself, once I'm in bed, once I'm like, if my brother was to be gone for a little bit and I'm at home and it's just me for a while and I don't have anything else to think about, then I start asking myself the questions that are actually deep within me that I don't really know. I don't realize that's what I want to ask myself. So it's kind of interesting. I think it's a good thing to isolate yourself for a little bit. Just try it. For me at least, when I find that whenever I'm by myself, I've been the most um question not like most curious about myself. Like I've never asked so many questions to me, like since being alone, right? And that was heavily enhanced, heavily, happening when I was in, like, as I explained in the last solo episode, I did like a year and a bit, pretty much living by myself because I came back from Lebanon after studying there for a couple of years, high school, and now, I'm doing in Australia for uni. Um, that year that I stayed by myself, there was so much thinking happening because I was by myself, right? I genuinely think when you're by yourself, you start to ask yourselves the questions, like internal questions about what you truly want about yourself. What is you, you know? So yeah, that on that topic, that's kind of like asking about who you are. What can you improve as your personality? What can you change about yourself without taking away from you? My thing was, how much more energetic can I get? How much more um selfless can I get? I feel like I'm pretty um not that I'm selfish, a little bit. I know I am a bit selfish. Maybe me saying I'm not selfish is selfish, but I know I'm not selfless. You know what I mean? So not about being selfish, but I'm not selfless. Um and so I do care a bit more about myself, which is, look, it's not a bad thing, but it means it takes away from being more kind to others in certain things. And I know that about myself. Like, it's good to note all these things down. Can you, like, if you had to nitpick certain attributes, I can say I am this, this, and this, and my negatives are this, this, and this. If you can really pinpoint that out, then you can actually work on not just your habits, not just your, work ethics and blah blah blah. You can work on yourself as a person, like personality wise. And yeah, that's what I've been doing, I guess. Recently this year, me, like, since in Japan mainly it started, um and until now, my main working on myself has really been in terms of personality wise. How much yeah, like the energy that I can bring to the table compared to how it was before. Like, it's always been gradually improving, I'd say. Uh, I was always look, because I used to edit anime. I used to be inside. I used to edit, like, in Lebanon, especially in Lebanon. There's not these types of people, right? There's not a lot of these people that will edit anime, and I don't know. I like a nerdy when it comes to editing and on the computer and whatnot. And I was a nerd in that sense, right? And over there, even in Australia, really, but over there mainly, like, there isn't many of these types of people. It's not really the environment, the environment. So because of that, because I didn't necessarily gel with the outdoor environment compared to, like, what I wanted to do, my creativeness, my interests were always in that editing, in that field. Um, it's like I was always more inside, whether I wanted to or not. I really enjoyed editing. I really enjoyed being on call with friends that enjoy the same things, because other people in real life did not. I resorted to finding friends online on Discord and whatnot. And to be fair, a lot of those friends are still really good friends with, and some have, like, come to Australia as well. I've met people overseas. It's done a lot for me. It's not like, it's not sad. Oh my god, Discord friend. It's not sad. Like, I've had, like, really really good friends. Um, so yeah, so I, like, because of that, I was always mainly inside, and that is what caused me to be more introverted, or not necessarily introverted, but I just felt, this is gonna sound so, like, main character, different, like, because genuinely speaking, it's pretty different. It's unique in terms of not many people would, like, no one that I knew and no one around me at all were doing something like I was doing, so they couldn't understand me. So when I wanted to stay at home and I wanted to um work on these edits and wanted to do these types of things, no one's going to understand me. And everyone kept saying, like, why don't you go out there? Why don't you go do this? Why don't you blah, blah, blah? And because of all of these, like, that is just it. Obviously, you don't, when someone tells you to do something and you're a teenager, you don't want to listen to it. So inevitably, it made me stay back inside more. Um, and only until, like, and it made it worse, actually, when I had to do university. online for like a year for Australia. So I was studying during the night and sleeping during the day. That made me have more of a no life, but I learned a lot through those things. I don't really know if I spoke about it that much on the last solo episode, but that like all these things really shape who you become and your personality. So that like it's good to pinpoint those things as well. What has made you introverted or extroverted? Why do you see yourself as this thing? Um, and so yeah, that's what made me, I think, more of an inside person is just the interests and the things that I liked, no one else did, and generally speaking, not many people still do now. It's just more of like finding that group of people that can. And now that I have found it and there are people around me, that's when I've come to realize, okay, now I can work more on myself because I'm around the people that, I like to be around. And it's not just me anymore. Um, so because I'm now around the people that I want, I was never necessarily introverted. I just never had anyone to be like to express interest with. So it's just been more like I think that's where like my unbotheredness came from. It's like because I had so many people that weren't interesting in my eyes, it just turned me off people. Like it just turned me off wanting to speak to people because everyone was pretty much the same to me. Like at least when it came to hobbies and interests, no one was really different. And so I was just sitting there like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Like there was no progression. Um, but now, like this year, like in Japan, since studying there, I heavily had like just seeing everyone around me. The first thing that made me pick up on people's traits and start thinking about personality and whatnot is because, well, it's going to sound weird, but I really want to write a book, right? So when I was at the dormitory, um, everyone there has such a distinct personality. Like I can name each person's attribute, and because I can do that, it made me be able to like my first thing when I came to the dormitory was like I want to write everyone's name down and how they are as a person because I can, and it's just kind of nice as a character profile. It's really weird, right? Like I wasn't I mean I wanted to do it, but I can't be bothered, and which I should probably fix that. I should start be more bothered for things, but it's like I wanted to write the character profiles of each person so it can help with writing different personalities in my story. And so after like analyzing each person, I was like, what about me? If I wanted to write about me, what would my flaws be? What would I write? So that's when the question came, who am I? Who are you? Who like what makes me me? If I had to describe myself in a couple of words, how would you describe yourself in a couple of words? So that's where the basis of all of that came from. And since then, I've always been like in consultation with myself and mainly my mom, I guess. And I mean, other close people too, but it's mainly just like I'm pretty close with my mom, so I always speak about these types of things. And then mainly just myself and God, I guess. So, yeah, that's like my progress so far has been just working on being more bothered, being a little bit more energetic, giving a bit more to the table, giving a bit more into the conversation, instead of sitting back and just being a bit more lazy in terms of these things, you know. Yeah, interesting. What do you think about that?
Very, very deep, I reckon.
Yeah, fair.
It
Didn't expect it to go like that, but yeah,
was good, but
that's good.
got a bit of insight on who you really think you are.
Yeah, I'm starting to think about myself. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing. Like people should start really trying to think about themselves more and what can you get out of yourself. What like how much. I was gonna use a really bad analogy. I'm trying to think of a good analogy, but like imagine, for example, Uluru, The Rock, like
Yeah.
The Rock in Australia. Basically, it's in a. There's no point of me giving this analogy, but I'm just gonna do it. Uh, imagine, and when you see an iceberg, and most of it is under the water, and then you can see the big tip of it. It's at the top. there is so much of you that you can extract from you as a personality before like you're fully bloomed, I guess, or you're like you're up to the top. You get what I mean? I'm trying to really make a good analogy, but it's not really working. But just imagine like there's a lot more to you that you can
Show to
enhance.
others.
Yeah, there's like not just to others, but mainly to yourself. You know, like just you as a person can be a lot more. You just not a lot of people realize they can do that. People that think about that become a lot more confident, become a lot more like they just become in equilibrium with all of their um traits. So I think like I'm really good when it comes to being calm, obviously, and work ethic, discipline. Um, but when it comes to being interested in others, that's still like, or at least faking being interested in others to care for other people. See, I always thought of like I don't want to be fake and say, oh, that's cool, blah, 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 blah. But then I was speaking about that to my mom like it's like a year ago, and she's like, it's not being fake. It's just being
Good person.
not being. Oh, yes, it's being a good person, but it's you caring about the other person. It's you caring.
Yeah, you show
Like
that you
yeah, yeah,
actually
yeah,
care.
showing that you care.
I saw something about that. I was gonna say.
Yeah. So to me, like for my whole life, I've always just kept thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to be fake. I'm just going to sit there and just be like, oh, cool. And just try to not hide me not liking what they're talking about. And that's me being selfish. That's me thinking about myself. I'm not really thinking about other people and how their feelings are when I'm reacting to them. Right. Um, and so I always, would just be like, oh, nice. And just ignore whatever they say. But now I'm trying my best. It's still hard, to be honest. I don't know why it is, uh, to feel genuineness in the reaction to people telling me their interests or their hobbies or something about what they've done, because I can speak about the same when it comes from me and have. I don't know about that sound. I can speak about the same when it comes to me and my interests and hobbies and what I've done today and what I did and what I did and I. But when someone else says it to me, I'm like, okay, nice. I don't know what to say to you. Like that's the main flaw that I have in terms of my personality is trying to find the care in other people. And that's why I need more selflessness to think about other people. And, that's why I look at sometimes people when they when I'm talking to them and they start reacting. And I'm like, whoa, what are you reacting for? I would never do this for you. Like, I would never give that piece of energy to you. So why are you doing that for me? And so that is like how you start to see like, damn, okay, people can really be genuine about their reaction. And that's what I want. I want to try and be genuine. So me in saying that anyways is me trying to be genuine. I like not everyone is looking at themselves and saying, okay, I want to actually be a better person, have a more caring personality. So if we do interact and I seem like I don't give a crap about whatever you're saying, bear with me because I probably don't, but I'm trying to give a crap about what you're saying. So yeah, that's what I'm working on at the moment. What would you say you're working on at the moment?
Probably like studying.
You can put the
Fixing.
camera on yourself.
Yeah.
Pick up the mic. Pick up the mic. Let's see your voice properly. Yeah.
Probably like using my time wisely. I would say
Mm-hmm.
because I get home from school sometimes and I just get lazy, asleep instead of
Mm-hmm.
finishing my homework or studying. I can get like I've got potential to get like such a better mark or
Mhm.
grade or something or
Mm-hmm.
do something else, and I just instead flop it, just sleep or
Yeah.
yeah, I'll do it a bit later. I'll eat. I'll do something.
Mm.
I just need to start like nah. I'll get up. I'll do this. I just need no.
So in terms of personality, is that laziness?
Yeah.
Mm. And then what would you say is something like what is something that you can notice about yourself? Sorry to put you on the spot, but something that you can notice about
Oh.
yourself in terms of personality wise that you would like to enhance or change or like improve, or
Improve? Oh, I don't really know. It's not. I don't feel like it's something you can answer. It's something you gotta get someone else to answer for you.
Mm.
I don't. I really know.
I think that's a yes and no, because you can put the camera back on me if you want. um, it's like a yes and no, because yes, you can find out that answer from other people, but you can realize it yourself by the reaction or the way people are affected by how you treat them from your personality. So by that, for example, what I mean is when other people start to realize that I'm not giving a crap about them when it comes to what they're saying to me, I'm realizing, oh yeah, they are kind of starting to see through that. I'm just saying yeah, just to keep the conversation going, and that's when you realize, oh okay, maybe I do need to start like fixing that up. But yeah, just in general, if you can realize it within yourself before anyone else, then you're fixing it properly, because it's not someone's external output saying, you look, yeah, you're doing this and this, because some people with those outputs might be um the wrong influence, I guess. You never know. But obviously, it's good. That's why I said I speak to my mum, and also my dad too. But he's more like on the work side of things and more of the like the doing things. And then my mum's more of like, I mean, she's a woman, so it makes more sense that the woman is on more of like the emotion side of things and personality, and then my dad's more on like the work side of things. Um, so yeah, that's how like I derive my mixing, trying to improve my personality and trying to improve my actual like doing things, my actions, my me as a person in terms of work ethic and stuff like that. Damn, that was a pretty good conversation with myself. Yeah, we have been going for, what is that, 26?
Yeah, 26.
Yeah, we can keep it going for a little bit more if you want.
Up to you, man.
But I mean, yeah. I have like a something that I got from Comic Con that I want to open, but I think it's better if I open it with other people here. So I'll do that next time. I also really want to do like episodes in Japanese as much as I can.
Speak like proper
Yeah,
episodes.
like I mean, as much as I can speak in Japanese, I'd like to say whatever I can, and then whatever I have to say in English, I say in English with Japanese friends. But I don't know if I can post that, or if that should be, um, if that should be just like unlisted and just only for my Japanese friends, or I post it and I make subtitles. But the problem is the subtitles will take a long time, so I don't know what's worth it. But would you be interested in you? But I don't think you would.
Because you wouldn't understand it. There is subtitles only for the people that understand Japanese.
Yeah, but let's say there is subtitles. Would you still watch it? Because you just told me right before we
Yeah,
recorded
I hate
this.
watching subtitles.
Yeah, you hate watching subtitles. So I don't know if it's worth doing something like that and posting it. I think it might be nice to do something short and just keeping it within Japanese friends. So yeah, because I do like
What
practice
level would you
Japanese.
say you're on though? Like, could you proper talk or?
No, but I'm not fluent, but I can hold the conversation. I know a lot of words, let's just say. I think I know about 1.2k words, 1200 Japanese words. Um
It's very precise.
well, no, because right now in terms of the flashcard app that I use, I have 1130 memorized, but but I've done on Duolingo and other words that I've just memorized by picking up things, and I take notes of words that I want to memorize that aren't on the app. Uh that will just add up to about 1200. So in terms of words, I know a decent amount. And then like I can read pretty well, and listening, if they're speaking a bit slower, I can understand the gist of what people are saying. I can understand generally, and there's my camera.
Died.
Put it on the wide one. I can understand like the basics of what people are trying to tell me. So I can get what you're saying. So yeah, but I do in the car. I do put a lot of like just Japanese easy like conversation speaking practice. So literally on the way to pick you
Yeah,
up.
I saw. I read. And
Oh, you read it?
I look. All right?
Okay, a bit weird, but you know. But yeah, so this is like the kind of things that I mean. Like, not a lot of people, like no one would do that in Lebanon, right?
Yeah, I know. A lot of people in Lebanon are like outgoing. Oh, let's go do this. Let's go do that. Let's go take a photo over here. Let's go get
Yeah.
some food.
It's kind of like everyone's got the same sort of interests and hobbies, and it's all like the same type of lifestyle. But I don't really like that. Not that I don't like it. It's fun here and there, but I really just vibe
You.
with. Yeah, it's not me. I vibe with the creative side of things, the stuff that I like to do. You know, there's no reason that there's a reason this podcast exists. There's a reason I used to do editing. There's all these things come from that drive of creativity that I just want to attack these things. I want to do these types of things. And so that's where I found myself like kind of like stuck inside because there was no one to like exert that information, exert that expression unless it was the internet, you know?
Fair.
So there are people out like in the world that will listen to me, but they're not next to me or they were online. And so the online listened to me, and that's how I got, you know, editing, doing like that's how I was doing editing and got followers through that. And just from there, I just gained a little community, and here we are. Yeah, but no, I think it was a pretty good episode to be honest. And I only spoke about one topic. I have so many topics, by the way. I
I know,
listened to
you
you all
said
these
of
topics.
them.
Like this is
Like
just the main.
15, 20 topics.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Some
I
of
pretty
them
much
are-
I pretty much only spoke about one of these topics. You can't really see, but actually you can see. All of those that you see at the top half are all topics that I would have said for a solo podcast, which means there's enough to keep things going. But you know, just a little bit about my life recently, how things are going. You know, I've been right now. I'm in this finishing the first semester of my last year of uni.
Inshallah, goes well.
Inshallah goes well. Thank you. You know, doing my thesis, so it's like the final big report of last year. It's my fourth year of university engineering, architecture engineering is what I'm doing, and yeah, I got to start like looking for proper jobs now when it comes to like actual engineering.
Get
There's
experience, like you gotta go on a proper job site and everything.
yeah, well, I have done that before. I've already done that, but this time
Weren't you working as a on the what is it?
office.
Yeah. you
Well,
said
I was
month.
receptionist for a month. I was receptionist for a month, but that wasn't my choice. I learned a lot from it though. That's what I spoke about in the
Yeah,
last
that's
solo
what I was gonna
episode.
say.
Yeah, I spoke about how I became like how being a receptionist
yeah.
actually helped. But yeah, no, it did help. But besides that, there's been a lot of in terms of the um like my work plans and goals for life and all of these things, they always change, but like they generally have a like a main goal, right? And but recently, like I've realized that it always does change. Like I had ideas, and maybe I'll speak about it in another solo episode of like what type of work I wanted to do, and then things just change around, and I have to like think about other things now, and it puts me in a position where I have to think of a new route, um, to find a different solution, and then that solution is better than what I originally thought. But you have to go through that time of like a bit of mental toughness, to question yourself and question, okay, how can I get around this problem? What do I really need? What should I seek for? And that's what I did recently in the last like couple of weeks, the last month, and I found like the new life plan or the new work plan that I want to do going ahead from now. So that's something recent that I've been working on. The personality wise, trying to be more energetic. So you will see me. I'm trying to like be more hype. I do say the weather affects I think it affects everyone, but I noticed that it does give me like emotion. When it's sunny, I feel a lot more energetic than when it's rainy. And then also the people around me really affect my mood.
That's
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
You say around Abraham Said.
Yeah.
I reckon you changed a little more.
Yeah, exactly. Like I won't like if they weren't there, I wouldn't from myself
Yeah, I wouldn't say those.
just like scream and be like energetic and whatnot unless I'm with close friends. unless I'm like I mean publicly or like in a scene where it's not so comfortable. When it's a comfortable setting, that's my true self. And that's what I should have spoken about, that is trying to get yourself to become true, like with your true self.
Next solo podcast.
Yeah, next time on the podcast. It's trying to become your true self as you are when you're with your closest friends, in more of like an uncomfortable situation. You know what I mean? Your camera just shut off, by the way. So this is the last camera that's working. It's been about 35 minutes. I think we can end it around here. But thank you guys for listening. You know, I'm down to keep doing more solo episodes, and let me know how you think of that. But yeah, you know, like
Teddy bear.
I am enjoying the teddy bear, just like messing around with his little nose in it. Yeah, like, and what I mean by it goes both ways, by the way, when people affect my mood, is because when other people get pissed or are sleepy and whatnot, and they're just really droopy and they're like down, I try my hardest to lift things up because I want to feel energetic. I want to feel more happy. So I keep trying to lift things up so other people can be happy, and then that will make me feel not better, but make me feel more energetic. And I feel like that sounds selfish, but I don't mean it in a selfish way. Yeah. Like, for example, in Japan, when in class, there was a lot of days where they, like Saeed and my brother, would not prioritize their sleep at all.
So just stay up all night.
There were days, and towards the end, I started doing it in the last like week or two. I started like just saying sack. I'll get a little bit of sleep, and we're just having fun in it. But I like that was just the last week or two because we had nothing else anymore. We finished like our exam. We finished our exams. We finished our presentation. But like until then, I to be fair, I give myself a pat on the back because I slept early or before 12 almost every night. I tried to make sure I can do that.
What time do you have to wake up at?
Well, I got up for Fajr at 6:30 and just stayed up.
Oh, 6.5 hours of sleep only.
Yeah, I mean, Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu said 67 hours is sufficient. So, but it obviously depends.
Oh.
And now it's gone. Yeah, there is no episode. No. We're gonna fix it quickly. 1 second. This one's still on. You ready? Ready? Wait.
This is the right, yeah.
Yeah, it'll work. Ready? Okay. Put it on this one.
It is.
There
My
you go.
bad.
All right. Sorry about that. I don't know if it's gonna be blurry or not.
Yeah, it's very. Oh.
No, it'll be. Fix it up, so I can say the outro. No, the other way. Yeah, perfect. Okay.
Boom.
Thank you guys for listening to this episode of EasyCast. I appreciate you listening to this solo episode. If you would like more of these, then please give a thumbs up, like us, and we're going to try and post more clips. Yes, we've been a bit off, on and off, but we are doing it again. We stopped for 6 months, so we're doing it again. And yeah, okay. Thank you. Let me know what you think. And what do you think about these opinions today? You know, what would you say about yourself? Would you say, like, what would you say about yourself? Just put something in the comments. I want some comments. Thank you guys for listening. And I'll see you guys on the next episode of EasyCast. Bye bye.